We talk about this being the land of opportunity. And if you're poor, this is not the land of opportunity.
The thought process was you work hard, you play by the rules, your children will reap those rewards. And that's really what the American dream is. For the first time in our country, what we're experiencing is that's not the case.
Opening the economy of China that will create unprecedented opportunities for American farmers, workers, and companies.
We led the nation per capita in terms of the number of U.S. patents issued. There was really a spirit of innovation and creativity here. For much of the 20th century, Dayton, Ohio was the place to be if you were looking for a job and looking for a way to get ahead.
My dad worked for General Motors, and my mom was like a real estate agent. And they really brought home the idea that if you worked hard, that you'd be able to do well in this country. This kind of fell apart in around the early 2000s. This contract broke with the loss of manufacturing jobs that were slowly trickling in Dayton. Children of families aren't doing better than their parents, and I think that's the broken dream that's happening right now.
What happened to the factories?
They used them up. Everybody downsized. They could just split. They employed everybody for years. I don't know what really happened. They just paid them to retire and let them go. And just, that was it. That's that. Here's your severance pay. It's over.
Entire industries have been wiped out, sectors such as textiles, apparel, furniture, also large segments of the electronic industry.
We were seeing a huge increase in families coming into us in around 2005, 2006. Of the 200 plus people that we're serving every day here, about 40% of our guests are homeless, and I mean street homeless. Some people have housing, but it's not the suburbs that you think of. It's housing where there may not be running water. There may not be a working refrigerator. There may or may not be a working stove.
They say free trade, we say no way. What do we do?
Globalization is necessary and it is going to happen, but unlike other countries like Germany or other countries that protected their worker, the American government did not.
There's a general perception in the American public that America is losing jobs to China. So this sentiment is building up for what I would call 7 or 8 years. The middle class feels like they're suffering because their wages have not gone up. So you basically have what I call this middle class revolt, an anti-globalization spirit, in the sense that trade, integrating with the global economy, symbolized by China, somehow has depressed the welfare of Americans. And China is basically the target.
The Chinese population is so much larger than the U.S. population. China has more advanced learners than we have learners. At one point, the Chinese government was trying to find jobs for approximately 20 million Chinese per year. Well, 20 million is about the population of the entire state of Ohio.
We can't continue to allow China to rape our country.
Came across as an outsider, somebody who was going to be the bull in a china shop and shake up Washington. And working people like that image. They want somebody strong who was willing to fight with the powers that be. They blame China's entry into the WTO as being responsible for the loss of their jobs and their communities.
From the time when China joined the WTO in 2001 throughout to the end of last year, China has gained in total 13 trillion GDP increase. And the US over this period has gained 11 trillion. The total pie have grown essentially at a similar size. The problem really is how that pie is being distributed. In the US, the top 1% of the population has a similar amount of wealth as the bottom 90% of the population. So that just gives you an idea how lopsided the distribution of wealth that the US has experienced. And so you can't really blame China for how the pie is being cut in the United States, right?
After the General Motors plant closed in 2009, Fuyao came, and we are pleased that that plant is being reused.
We've taken our blows, we've lost the jobs, we've had all the gloom and doom, but I think we've turned a corner in Dayton. We had this huge facility in the Dayton area that had been sitting empty. And to have the Chinese glass manufacturer come in and bring that factory building back to life is certainly a great thing for the community.